Hi, good morning. My name is Olivia Mando. Thank you to Quiero for organizing this wonderful but necessary event, Sustainable Brands, and of course for the opportunity to be here. I must admit, I'm very excited, but also a little nervous. I'm here because we're in the middle of a crisis that knows no boundaries, that doesn't care about left or right politics, that doesn't care about race, ethnicity, sex, age. And no, I'm not talking about COVID-19. We have a climate crisis, and the biggest victims of this crisis are young people. My generation, my younger brother's generation, and all future generations, because we will be the ones left on Earth trying to deal with the devastating effects of current leaders from both the private and public sector, which is all the more obvious following the failure of the past COP26. The climate crisis is not just about the environment and one species, humans. It's about ecosystems, habitats, and non-living creatures. We are witnessing the sixth mass extinction. Hundreds of species of animals are going extinct every year at the hands of human destruction. Protecting the environment goes hand in hand with protecting animals. It's two sides of the same coin. But the problem of the matter is that humans are just another species of animals on this planet. If we can't protect nature, how are we supposed to protect ourselves? This is a human-made problem, so it needs a human-made solution. We can't sit on the sidelines hoping for miracles to happen or for others to come along and solve it for us. Miracles don't happen. We need action, we need effort, we need thinkers, we need solutions. And I'm here to make you think, to make you all think. I was born in Barcelona, and I dream of a plastic-free Mediterranean in which dolphins, cetaceans, and all marine flora and fauna can live freely in their own natural habitat. About 2 years ago, while visiting my grandparents in New York, I went to an exhibition on climate change that both inspired and deeply moved me. When I returned to Barcelona, I had hundreds of ideas in my head. My Mediterranean was getting worse, all because of man-made waste, and I felt that the sea, it couldn't breathe as it used to, so in 2019, I created the Deli Cleaner, this utensil you see here. I didn't create it as an engineering project. I've never studied engineering, but rather I wanted to make something simple and easy that everyone could make with everyday materials they had at home. It's really quite simple. It's basically a floating filter made from recycled plastic water bottles and old ballet tights that I had lying around. Water enters the center mouth of the center water bottle, and it passes through the fine mesh filter of the stockings, and any microplastic, plastic, or other garbage gets trapped at the points. The two smaller outside water bottles act for flotation and to balance it. You can use it to clean microplastics whenever you're out to the sea, rivers, or lakes. And when you're done, you just turn the stocking inside out, clean out the garbage, recycle what you can, rinse and reuse it. The most important part for me of the Deli Cleaner is its ability to raise awareness much more than the amount of physical garbage we can pick up. And it also represents the idea that every act, every step, no matter how small, can make a big difference, and that each of us can make a difference and a better impact for a better world for all of us. And the sad part is that our current relationship with nature, with animals, with our planet, that it's our only home, is destructive, but worse, it's self-inflicted. No ocean, no life, no ocean, no us. These words were spoken by Sylvia Early, a personal hero of mine and one of the first female marine biologists and the maximum authority on marine biology and ecosystems. And I say the same with regards to my Mediterranean. Seeing the failures of the past COP26 this month, it's clear than ever that the fight against climate change needs to be led from the private sector. We've seen what our politicians and world leaders do: all talk and no action. The 200-country agreement from the COP just pushed any action away on the crisis till next year, when scientists are screaming that every year counts. Just think, this was the 26th edition of the COP. It's obvious that something's not right if you have to talk about something 26 times without any success, or just little steps. So, if we can't count on our governments to initiate change and to raise awareness, who's left? Companies, individuals. It's time for all of us to take charge. Companies need to use their platforms, infrastructures, products to become forces for good. They need to set examples, innovate, create changes that affect our daily lives. Companies can no longer create products that contaminate and then plant some trees and say that they're sustainable. Younger generations have a new superpower, and that allows us to see what is greenwashing and what is real. We demand transparency, we demand commitment and purpose, taking into account every aspect, all stakeholders, from where the materials come from, who makes them, how they are made, and how they're reused, recycled, or disposed of. We need a change of habit. We need a new paradigm. It's clear that the old one has failed us, but it's not too late. Last year, I was recognized as a mini heroine by the Jane Goodall Institute's educational program, Roots and Shoots. Just this week, I was so humbled to have received the Jane Goodall Institute's International Award for my commitment to the environment and animal rights. I'm so thankful to Dr. Goodall for her amazing, lifelong commitment and dedication for making a better world for all of us. Combining my love for the Mediterranean, for animals, specifically dolphins, in early 2020 I began a campaign to save the 3 dolphins that were imprisoned in the Barcelona Zoo. So I asked the Barcelona city government so that the dolphins were moved to a marine sanctuary. In just a few months, my campaign received over 56,000 signatures, but it didn't have the outcome I was hoping for, because even though they were moved from the Barcelona Zoo, they were just transferred to another aquarium in Athens, Greece. I turned my disappointment into determination, and I launched an even more ambitious but necessary campaign directed to Pedro Sánchez, President of the government, asking for a complete ban on dolphin parks and keeping cetaceans in captivity. It's hard for me to understand how nowadays, in the 21st century, dolphins, orcas, and belugas can still be held captive and forced to perform stupid tricks just for us, humans. Here's a fact you probably didn't know. Spain is the largest prison for dolphins in all of Europe, and the 6th in the world with most cetaceans in captivity. And a third of all dolphin parks in Europe are in Spain. So, noespaisparadelfines is my current campaign on the Change.org platform, and it has gained a lot of momentum. I have over 101,000 signatures, and last month I went to the Senate here in Madrid, where 5 senators signed a motion to prohibit dolphin parks. This motion will be presented, I hope, to the entire Parliament by the end of this year, with the intention of becoming a law, first in Spain and then setting a precedent to other countries in Europe and beyond. Because this is just the beginning. There's a revolution happening. This is the start of our new relationship with nature, one of mutual respect and understanding, not of human exploitation. Just last week in France, just across the border, they passed a new animal rights law that prohibits dolphin parks, wild animals in circuses, and fur farms, among other incredible measures. Now, Some of you may be wondering, but what's the big deal? They're just big fish, and they look like they're having fun. Well, let's see. I'm obviously not a scientist, or at least not yet, but we can easily just follow the science and use our common sense. For starters, you'd like to be separated from your family, be taken out of your habitat, violently kidnapped from your home. And I won't go into detail on how these animals are captured, because it's scary. I'll give you some facts about dolphins that you may already know. Dolphins can swim more than 100 kilometers in a straight line in the sea. Tanks are about 30 meters long at most, making them impossible to swim in a straight line. Another fact, dolphins are acoustic animals, meaning that they move through sound, even though their eyesight is perfect. But of course, if they have to go into deeper and darker places, they use sound to identify things. And they've been studied and observed to recognize a person's feelings, and even if a woman is pregnant through acoustic sense. Isn't that awesome? So not only we put them in tiny, ridiculous tanks, but between the loud noise and hundreds of people screaming, they experience extreme levels of stress, because the sound bounces through the cement tank walls, creating an echo chamber. And many dolphins in captivity die of stress-related illness. Despite how far we've already come, there's one aspect of this motion that worries me, and that is that the issue of shows is not specifically included, but what we have now as a motion is a very big step, even though it doesn't seem like it. So a quick survey. Raise your hands if you've ever been to a dolphin or beluga show or have swum with dolphins in a pool. Come on, raise your hands. I'm not going to bite. Whoa, too many. It's very necessary to end what I call the terrifying triangle: capture, trade, and shows. If there's no demand, there won't be any shows. Therefore, I beg you never to attend to tourist attractions that include captive animals, riding elephants, riding camels, posing with a monkey, even horse and carriage rides. No one should ever attempt to visit a place where animals are imprisoned. One of the most common arguments from the dolphin park owners is that they educate people about dolphins, orcas, and belugas, or how else would people know about them? This is totally insane. This is not education. It's miseducation. Listen, my younger brother Max, he's 7, and he knows everything there is about dinosaurs. And when I say everything, I mean everything. What they ate, where they lived, when they lived, the different types, everything. Has he ever seen a dinosaur? Will he ever? Jurassic Park not included. Does it matter? No, we have so many resources now that's completely unnecessary to keep animals captive in order to study them. Jacques Cousteau famously said, "There's as much educational benefit studying dolphins in captivity as there would be by studying mankind by only observing prisoners held in solitary." Now, it's time to put the words into action. The more people who know, the stronger we become. Action starts with each individual. So please, sign my campaign. You should have received a link, an SMS with the link on your phones. So please, sign it. Now, I'll wait. If the link doesn't work, you have the QR on the screen, and if the QR doesn't work, when I finish, you can come and scan it on my back. Share my campaign. The more signatures, the more support we have, the more pressure we put on the politicians to make this law happen. I need, the dolphins need, all of our help. As of last night, I had 101,624 signatures. Our next goal is 150,000 signatures. So before I finish, I want to leave you with one challenge. Spread the word. Tonight, tomorrow, this weekend, talk about my campaign in climate change at home, with your families, with your partner, with your kids. Forward it in your WhatsApp chats, the ones with family and friends, the ones with other parents at school, and of course, in your companies too. Talk about it in your office, with your colleagues, with your employees. Publish it in your newsletters, in your corporate magazines, in your blogs. We just saw a few weeks ago that if we leave climate action to politicians, we'll get nowhere. But there's still hope. It's time for us, individuals, young, old, and everyone in between, to start making a difference and let our voices be heard. Thank you.